So as Isaac Boris goes to the back, again, he won the Circle B Diecast.com Pole Awards. Congratulations to him on winning that. But the rest of these cars about to come to the green flag here for 120 laps. And 300 miles of racing at the Brickyard. For the 4th time in the series history, the Brickyard is the host of this year, the C Squared Racing 300 from Indianapolis as we go racing. Sadiq with a good jump to the inside. Down into turn 1, single file already to front 5 or 6 as they come to turn 2. And one car's wrecked up in turn 1. We got trouble turn 1. And caution's going to come out already. It is the 46 making the debut tonight. Pushastaya Pravda, unfortunately, in the wall and going to pit road already. Oh, yeah, right there. Back end comes around and overcorrects. Oh. That's exactly what happened. Unfortunate deal there. As Nicholas Sadiq leads him back to the green flag here in Indianapolis. The C Squared Racing 300. Of course, tonight we do have our TrackCams22.com cameras with you of TrackCam 4 Gourmets. You can check them out again, TrackCams22.com, which are basically live cameras and what look like realistic cameras. If you remember the 500 a few weeks ago, as you see Dakota DeMay jump out of the line, he'll take the lead here. Back here, Thomas Geisler trying to work his way up. Ty Richter there in that 33 car. Thomas almost had the run there, but Ty was able to carry the momentum off the high side. As Dakota switches back with Sadiq as they try to get away here from the front 4. But right now, the tire wear running pretty normal, so you're able to run the draft right now until the handling comes into play. You see Shane Coogan back there in 5th. Gavin Sanders, or Bernie, as we're calling him now, running into 6th position there as we're 8 laps in. A long race here, 300 miles. Of course, also part of the Triple Crown. As you see to the outside, Gavin Sanders going to make a move on Coogan. Ooh, he almost got the wall there a little bit. Got to be careful. And Antonio Estrada with issues, I believe, or maybe he just blinked out. Never mind. He fell down my telemetry really quickly. I thought something might be wrong. Sadiq up there in the lead as Dakota tries to hold off Julian Alternate. Here he comes to the inside. That 31 is definitely moving this evening, but there's that high side. Again, we've started to see that more in these Indy cars, especially with the patch that came out a few months back, which added on almost the dynamic track back into iRacing. Now you're starting to see these second grooves come in on some of these tracks, and now look at this crossover move as now Julian goes up to second through the high side. Something you don't normally see in Indianapolis. So Dakota's starting to fall back a little bit. There's Alex Van de Zandt poking out. Not able to make the move there. So one thing I will go ahead and throw out there really quickly for those, obviously, who don't know who I am or whatever. I'm actually over in the northeast end of Georgia. And, of course, the tropical system that's coming from the Gulf of Mexico, well, yeah, it's starting to kind of hit here with rain and stuff like that, potential thunderstorms and things. So I'm just giving you a fair warning that, 99% of the time it doesn't happen, but there's always that 1% that things could happen. So just FYI. But usually everything cooperates with me, and hopefully that'll get us through this evening. Some fun racing here so far as Altena leads that lap. Here comes Sadiq back to the inside and switching the lead. And the reason why they do this, they try to break the draft of the car behind them and pull away. Almost like a Mario Kart type of style of drafting. If you go back to the old Mario Kart 64, you always had to do this. You had to kind of draft off another car and pass, and then let them pass you to pull away. So Sadiq showing his strength this evening in that 87 car, looking to potentially get his first career series win. As Alex Van de Sande going to the third position past the 82. So far, some great racing here in the first 23 laps. Only the one caution so far in this race. The question, will we see green flag pit stops here? So now the car is starting to spread out a little bit here. As you see, Sudik has got himself 3/10 on Julian Altena. Alex Van de Sande about a second back now. So this is about the point. 25 laps in. Handling now starting to play a role. These tires wearing out. When will you see these cars come to pit road? 87 of Sudik on pit road. Here he goes. He rolls out a 9.3. Of course, you see the wounded car of Vigera back there on pit road. That hands the lead to Julian Altena. Here comes Alex Van de Sande to pit road. Last season's winner. That's Alex Van de Sande leaving pit road. Here comes the video game designer, Dakota DeMed, who I got to send a little shout out to. Last week was a road race on the USRC side. Of course, after they were actually off last week. He and Matt Houston came over to the stock car side and ran that road race that we broadcasted here on Captain TV and came home with a top 3 finish. Dakota did. So here he's back over here now on the more comfortable side of his racing and on pit road from the top 3 right now. And there goes Dakota right now, 9.9 second stop. Also on pit road is Christian Alejo. And now here come the leaders. Altena, Sanders, Estrada. A lot of green flag pit stops now. James Watson back there in the 39 coming in. Ty Richter. You see all the pit stops down at the bottom. At least the top 4 positions wise. That's where you see the pit stops down at the bottom from. If you're new to iRacing viewing, you will not see the pit crews, unfortunately, go to work unless I am actually in the race or something like that. And yes, you do see some interesting costumes for some of the drivers. So Julian and Gavin get out there together. As now you see some more drivers to pit road here. Shane Coogan, Oscar Fredrickson, Thomas Geisler, Isaac Morris. There you see Coogan trying to get up to speed through the warm-up lane. Kind of try to join in. Got to be very careful. Of course, you have other cars trying to merge in with you. As you look back here, nobody there behind them. Now Gary Godso on pit road. And, of course, Gary actually celebrating his 25th start in the series tonight. Gary running a special livery to pay honor to that. Go back here as this fight is on now for the 5th position. Musselman trying to hold off Dakota DeMay. And also Shane Coogan is here. Do you see right behind him the 12 of Oscar Fredrickson? Now, if these guys draft up to these other 2 cars, you could see them work their way back up to the leaders. Well, Coogan trying to go 2 for 1 here. So if you're one, as I mentioned, watching this for the first time tonight and you want to see what this league is all about, maybe interested in some IndyCar racing on a Saturday night, of course, they are already prepared for season number 5. And that'll be coming up here very soon. Of course, wrapping up season 4 next week at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Roughly 25 laps into this run here. So we're going to see more pit stops. I would say in the next 5 laps or so. When you look at Sudik, he came in right at lap 30, so if you do 30, that's 60. Of course, Van de Sande at 31. As we bring up the pit strategy board here, it tells you exactly what everybody came into pit road. I'll swap it over to pit lap. There you go. So 30, 31, 33, 34 for Coogan, 34 for Fredrickson. As the leader comes to pit road, and here comes a couple of the VOR cars. Bernie Sanders, Julian Altena. More pit stops being called out, and here comes Alex Van de Sande, the leader, coming in. Now, of course, this is the IndyCar oval setup. You'll notice that pit road here is actually further in on pit road, and I believe it's a faster speed limit of 60 miles an hour. And here they all come as Alex Van de Sande, Isaac Morris, Oscar Fredrickson, all on pit road. And right on cue, there's Watson coming to pit road, so everybody should cycle back to the front now. And it will be Alex Van de Sande who's looking for his second C-Squared Racing 300 victory. And there he is, 0.7 of a second over Nicholas Sudik. You see Sudik starting to work the draft a little bit here. And tell you what, who this pit stop really worked out for was these two behind him. Bernie Sanders, or Gavin, and Julian Altena, third and fourth. These two were about 2.5 seconds back from these other two when the pit stop started, and now they're within a second. So great pit stops by those two guys getting in and out of the pits. And now with the draft, this could become a 4-car battle now for the lead, as we're seeing what, about one pit stop probably left here in the next 27 laps or so. So we got these 4 guys all within about a second of each other. Then you got Oscar Fredrickson behind Shane Coogan there in 5th and 6th. Then 7th and 8th, you got Dakota DeMay and Isaac Morris. Isaac still trying to battle his way through the field. And then behind him, you got a couple of cars working for position here. AJ Musselman to Thomas Geisler. And back here in 11th and 12th, there is Antonio Estrada. And then probably the more shocking of this race so far is Matt Houston here in the 12th position. Now, of course, there could be a lot of factors working right now against Matt, or something that I don't even know about. So, and Matt not having the best of nights right now. Ty Richter there behind him in 13th. And then back here on his own island, Gary Godso in the 14th spot. I know Gary's giving it his all every week to try to win this race. I know when we're up here in the booth, we talk off the air and stuff when we're getting ready for the other league on Monday nights, and we're like, we'll be talking, and he's like, man, I can't wait for Indianapolis, or I can't wait for any oval, basically, Michigan. I can't wait for Auto Club. Can't wait for Pocono. And he's definitely excited each and every week. I'm sure right now he is, the only thing he's excited for right now is maybe a yellow handkerchief coming out or something. Now, of course, each and every week on Thursday and Fridays, the series hosts practice sessions for their drivers. Oscar Fredrickson was fastest in practice yesterday. And VOR also has a stock car series. They ran a Next Gen Cup series that actually just finished up on Thursday, I believe it was, with Nick DeGroot winning that championship over there. Congratulations to him and the factory-backed motorsports team with the 2 wins for Nick. This is what the spotters actually get to see on this track and how tough it is to spot. I mean, there is not many places, if any, especially when in the grandstands, that you can see the whole entire Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is a huge facility, and you almost have to sit on the pagoda to get any kind of view. So 37 laps to go in a C-Squared Racing 300. Looking at pit strategy now. So I think here in the next 4 laps, if you see cars coming to pit road, their strategy opens up for them to go to the finish and to the checkered flag. So Sadiq right here in the 2nd position, trying to hold off Gavin Sanders. Is tonight Gavin's night to go to victory lane? As here we go. Final round of stops. AJ Musselman, the first one in once again in the 54 car. And there he goes, 9.5 for AJ. So he should be at about that number where most, if not all, these leaders are going to want to get to pit road. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, here's actually, let me back up on what I was going to say. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see all these guys pit together. But then I think about the quote I always hear and think of. If you follow the leader to pit road, guess what you're going to do? You're going to follow the leader back out of pit road, and you're going to follow the leader to the checkered flag. So you got to think of something here that you need to do, as you're seeing a 2-second difference now as Alex has really stretched it out now on Sudik. And Sadiq has been passed by Gavin Sanders for second here. Oh, that's awesome. Sadiq to pit road. So I probably have passed like where you live every time I went to Indianapolis when I lived up there. Everybody charging, what, $5, $10 usually to park in their yard. I'm like, that's kind of awkward. Sadiq, Julian Alton on pit road. Sadiq overshot his pit stall, and Tamanashu's getting in. No, tough break for the 87. That is going to hurt his chances here. He's going to need some help now as you see how much it hurts him. Julian Alton is going to blow him away now. A 5-second separation just on pit stops. As Alex Van de Sande, Gavin Sanders, Coogan, and Fredrickson, Morris all to pit road. Isaac Morris, Matt Houston all in. 28 to go. There they go. Ty Richter going to take the lead now, as he is the last to make his last round of pit stops here out of all the leaders. Drives it pretty deep, and there's the codes. You got to be 60 mile an hour right there. Watching cars come off of pit road here, trying to cycle back up. People trying to draft off these other cars, get any kind of run they can on their opponents as they catch them. That is going to hand the lead to Alex Van de Sande, who's going to have about a 2-second lead over Gavin Sanders. Once again, here's Gavin in second. I immediately think of Road America just a few weeks ago when he was leading the race on the final lap and loses the lead to Isaac Morris, and then unfortunately finishes second to Isaac. You know, I think I've said it every broadcast. Gavin's only win came in an exhibition race at Road America, but he has showed each and every week he can compete for the win. Shane Coogan now up to the third position, with Julian Alton now fourth, and there's Oscar Fredrickson fifth. And, well, looky here. Look who is P6, Isaac Morris, after starting dead last with an EOL penalty. He has worked his way to sixth. Might not win this race, but he has got a chance still to get on the podium if he can work his way up to these other cars. Thomas Geisler, the first lap under 41 seconds, 40.96. $22 laps to go. You see here, this is we got third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and so I mentioned seventh place. There is Nicholas Sadiq. Unfortunately, lost all that track position with the mistake on pit road. He's fallen from second all the way back to seventh and could lose that to Dakota DeMay here. As Dakota tries to work this draft, he is right on the gearbox of that 87 car. There is the interesting looking face of Julian Altino at Shane Coogan. Julian trying to break the draft. There's the snake breaking out. Again, next Saturday night, we'll crown a champion in the series at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 167 laps, 250 miles around that racetrack. You can see a pretty good draft race, actually, with the way that track has grip and banked up. It'll be a very fun race, I think. Next Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Alex's lead starting to stretch out even more, 2.5 seconds as he comes up on the back bumper of Sadiq here. This could be interesting now with Nick with newer tires. This is one of the rare times Alex has actually been in the turbulent air. And actually Nick's going to get out of the way and let Alex go by. So nice classy move there by the 87. The lead at 2.2 seconds as we hit 4 to go. And Sadiq back on pit road in the 87, so a rough ending to what was a great start to a night for that Taco Bell car, unfortunately for him. There's your pole sitter tonight officially. The guy that started on the CircleBDiecast.com pole award, but had an EOL from the penalty at Pocono and has come back to the 6th position. And I appreciate you guys watching us this evening here on Captain TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're somebody who's visited us multiple times, we appreciate you coming back and watching, and hopefully we'll see you again in the near future. And we invite you, obviously, after this race, we'll talk to the top 3, and then, of course, we'll go over to Iowa Speedway for some stock car racing coming up afterwards. As a matter of fact, that'll be, we're actually running early here because of the green flag nature of this race, so it won't be for another probably 40 minutes or so before we go on the air for that Iowa race, as we are at 2 laps to go. There's Alex coming up on the back of the 81 of Christian Alesio. And unfortunately for the 10 of Gavin Sanders back there, it is going to be another day of what might have been another second place finish, unless something weird happens to him here in the next 2.5 miles, as Alex Van de Sant coming off of turn 4. He'll see the white flag. I think he's trying to draft off of Christian a little bit here. Final lap from Indianapolis. Down the back straightaway. What a time period it has been for Alex. Yes, we've had a couple weeks of a break. But Alex Van de Sant a couple weeks ago went to victory lane in Pocono. And then a season ago went to victory lane here at Indianapolis. As he comes off of turn 4, coming to the checkered flag. He is now a 2-time winner of the Indianapolis 300. Alex Van de Sant, back-to-back wins. Sanders going to get second. Julian Alton third. Shane Coogan and Oscar Fredrickson. A great effort by the VOR team, by the way. Second, third, and fifth. Van de Sant celebrating with some donuts. Very nice donuts there, too, oh, by the way. Take a look at the race results from the Brickyard. Alex Van de Sant, as I mentioned, the winner of the race, 2.3 seconds in the end over Bernie Sanders. Julian Alton a third, Shane Coogan, and Oscar Fredrickson finishing in the top 5 tonight. Isaac Morse comes back to 6th. Dakota DeMay finishes 7th. Thomas Geisler 8th. Antonio Estrada, great run in 9th. And how about Matt Houston? At least he gets back to the top 10. Not sure if he'd be happy with the top 10, but at least he fought back to that finish. A.J. Musselman 11th. Ty Richter 12th. Gary Godso 13th. Christian Alagio 14th. And James Watson 15th. Bart Feuerstein in the 16th position. Not sure if I'm getting his name right, and I'm sorry if I'm not. Nicholas Sadiq 17th in the end. Very disappointed for him. Jose Miguel Phillips Viguera going to finish in the 17th position. And last but certainly not least, the 18th going to be Pushestea Pravda in the 19th position in the 46th car. And congratulations to Alex Van de Sant on another victory at Indianapolis. His second straight 300-mile win here at the greatest spectacle in racing. And, of course, big shout-out to C-Squared Racing for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. As always, thanks to Race First for sponsoring the series. Thanks to iRacing for allowing us to broadcast on their platform, as always. So, with that said, enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Happy Father's Day to all dads. And this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!